The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, as illustrated by the author. Translator Angeliki Panganopouloupou. Dedication to Leon Worth. I apologize for dedicating this book to a grown-up, but I have a great excuse. That specific grown-up is my best friend in the whole world. But here's another excuse. The certain grown-up understands everything, even children's books. Here's a third excuse, too. This grown-up lives in France, hungry and cold. He greatly needs to be comforted. If none of these reasons are enough, I would like to dedicate this book to the child this grown-up used to be. Every grown-up used to be a child, but there are few to remember it. So here's my dedication, all chorded, to Leon Worth, when he was a child. Chapter 1. At the age of 6, I saw a wonderful picture in a book that was titled True Stories from Nature, concerning the pristine forest. Its main theme was a boa constricting an animal in order to swallow it. Behold, a copy of the drawing. The book's note to the picture was, Boa constrictor swallows their prey whole without chewing it. After that, they are not able to move, and they sleep through the 6 months that they need for digestion. After that, I had a profound studying over the jungle's adventures. Using a colored pencil, I finally drew a picture for the very first time. My drawing number 1 that looked something like this. When I showed my wonderful picture to the grown-ups, I asked them whether it caused them fear. But they replied, "Frightened? Why would anybody be frightened by a hat?" My drawing didn't depict a hat, but a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. But since the grown-ups were not able to understand it, I drew something else. The inside of a boa constrictor, so that they could see it undoubtedly. Things always need to be explained to grown-ups. My second drawing had this form. The grown-ups this time advised me to stop drawing boa constrictors, whether from the inside or the outside, and instead focus on geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar. That is the reason I gave up at 6 what might have been a wonderful painter's career. The failure of my first and second drawing had made me lose courage. Grown-ups are never able to understand anything by themselves, and it is tiresome for children to always be forever explaining things to them. Consequently, I chose to commit to another profession, and therefore I learned how to pilot airplanes. I have managed to fly almost everywhere in the world, and it is certain that geography had proven itself useful. At a glance, I can distinguish China from Arizona. If someone loses his way in the night, such knowledge turns out to be valuable. During this life, I have had a great many encounters with a great many people who have been concerned with matters of consequence. I have lived for long among grown-ups. I have seen them intimately, close at hand, and that hasn't been able to change what I thought of them. For every time I encountered one of them who seemed to me at all clear-sighted, I used to show him, as an experiment, my drawing number 1, which I have always kept. I would try to find out, if this was a person of true understanding, but whoever he or she would always give the same reply. That is a hat. Then boa constrictors or pristine forest or starways were always forbidden matters to talk about with that person. I would bring myself down to his level. I would choose to talk to him about bridge and golf and politics and neckties. Therefore, the grown-up would be satisfied that he's encountered such a sensible man.